Good morning everyone. My name is Paige Palacios and I did my presentation and my implementation on mental health. So what's in my bag is I brought my inhaler from many years ago because it started off my mental health journey. I was raised in a weird household where I was afraid to tell my parents things. And so for years, if I ran out of inhaler, I would go 2-3 months without one that was full. And I would go through nights where I couldn't breathe. And honestly, a couple of nights I thought I was going to die. I did. And I was so afraid to tell anyone because of how they would react. And that started out a lot of my anxiety and my depression, my stress. I even have lots of hair around here and beyond since I was about somewhere between 12 to 14 due to my mental health issues. Now, suicide is actually the #4 cause of students in high schools, colleges, due to mental health issues. It's become a national crisis and we haven't talked about it at all. It's such a big thing. My parents went through it, my best friends, my little sister. They're all going through some type of mental health issues. And parents especially, it passes down childhood trauma and they turn it into our childhood trauma. How many of you in here have had your parents tell you about something slightly traumatic and it's affected you in some way? How many of you have your own version of childhood trauma due to your parents? It's such a big thing and no one talks about it enough. It's normalized in our society and it shouldn't be. Now, solutions that I thought of that could be local but is also extremely expensive are emotional support animals or dogs and art therapy. When I went to the elderly home with my classmates Katarina and Morgan, and we taught them how to do paper cranes. And for some, that was something so fun and they seemed to just let everything slip away. Other people, I actually sat, these are different images, sorry. I sat and talked to 2 other people when they were done and frustrated with the origami. They have not had anyone to listen to in so long. And so that did help finalize, because I had been doing this anyways as like a just in case, a support group where you can just sit and talk to people because everyone just needs someone to listen. It's so difficult to talk to anyone because you don't know who you can trust with your issues without them judging you. I myself asked my little sister, my friends, my coworkers and peers to sit and talk to me about their experiences if they were willing. And I became someone they could listen to. And in turn, they became someone that I could talk to. We do it like every 1 to 2 weeks in a safe environment. And it does help that I do give them food at the end because who doesn't like free food? We're broke college students. Now, mental health is a crisis and has been brought to light, especially with COVID, because people can't just hide from it anymore. A lot of people over the last year, I know myself, I have had to talk to my mother finally about my anxiety and my depression and everything that's going on because of my mental health. And I also learned that my father still dealing with it very badly, but he did it in such a way that I had to leave. Now, untreated mental health issues or unaddressed mental health issues become worse. I have met many people, I truly have met many people throughout this journey who told me they cry themselves to sleep regularly due to their depression, their anxiety, their stress, and many honestly have committed suicide due to these issues. There is so much more going on within probably a lot of you than we all realize. Now, I am trying to push for others to find emotional support systems. It's really hard. It really and truly is the most difficult thing, because if you try and find people similar to you to talk to about this, you no longer feel alone. So many of us feel alone when it comes to these issues. I know I did for many years. I know so many people probably in this room have. Okay, so my implementation is I did, again, set up an emotional support group. I set it up with friends, my sisters, I invited coworkers and friends, and some were comfortable, not all of them showed, obviously. It was just a group of people who could sit there and trust one another and talk to one another so they could feel comfortable and safe somewhere at like a park or someone's home. I know for one of my interviews, I interviewed one of my coworkers who talked to me about her experiences while she was in therapy and her mental health decline over the years and how it got better and it got worse. And she hasn't talked to anyone anymore. She used to go to therapy and doesn't do it anymore because some therapists aren't exactly the most reliable. Everyone needs someone to talk to, and I'm going to put this out there now, even though after this class, a lot of us may never see each other again. You can always reach out to me or reach out to someone, anyone, someone who will help get you through it. So the importance and impact of what we did was we will continue to meet every 2 weeks. We strengthen friendships and gain confidence in admitting our problems. I know I had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to sit and force myself to open up. I would never talk. My best friend for years thought I was mute. It's one of her favorite stories to tell. And I'm in college now. We're all in college. This started when I was 12. Disney needs to be able to somehow put in some effort for art therapy, promote that emotional support is an issue so that people aren't ashamed of it when the time comes, or so it doesn't progress into college where I'm sitting here almost on the verge of tears this entire presentation. And obviously, my bag, I'm terrified. I am. This entire presentation terrified me. Asking for help terrified me. But I know I'm not alone anymore. And it's such a big change in my life. And that's it.